Good morning or afternoon, I guess. Now with the time change, I'm on at noon instead of 11 o'clock because we don't change time here. So, as you've heard me say many times over the last week and a half. So, I'll get used to this and then everything will change again. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, Mary. Hello, Tammy. I hope that you guys are all having a good day. Um, even though it is a Monday. So what I'm going to be, hi Shirley, I'm going to be going over some inexpensive ways to make holiday gifts, and I'm going to give some examples today. We're going to put a couple together and just go over like different options so you decide that maybe you want to splurge a little bit on a holiday gift, how you can make that happen within your budget and parameters. So, first and foremost, I'm going to start off by saying, which I have said before, so it's all good. Hi, Miranda. Before you even decide to make somebody a holiday gift, I think you should take a good hard look at are they craft worthy? Are they going to see the item as cheap, as you being cheap, as just kind of like, if they aren't going to appreciate it, I would not waste your time nor energy or materials, because what they don't understand that is that it's oftentimes more expensive for us to buy all of the supplies than it would be to go buy a gift. And also it takes time as well. So the fact you hear my dog when she naps, she sounds like Super Mario Brother in the water world. Don't know why she does it, but she does. She seems to have stopped now. Anyways, yeah, I just wouldn't waste your time or money or stuff for somebody that's not going to appreciate the thought and effort that goes with making somebody a piece of something. Then I'm going to go back to, I'm going to show you a few ways that you can inexpensively make something that's going to look like you spent a lot more money and time on it than what you did. So let's go ahead and go down on the mat. Okay. First and foremost, there are products that can just help you get a desired look at a lower price. And sometimes that is acrylic bead. Now, these are, where's my remote so I can zoom in? There it is. I can zoom in a little bit more on this so I don't have to like pick it up. So in here, I have some wood beads. Those aren't acrylic wood beads, they're actual wood beads. But these are like some little carved rosettes, but they're acrylic. So they're very light, but they're still pretty. Same with these itty bitty pearls. Again, they're acrylic, but they will make really pretty spacers. I even have some that are daisy spacers that are acrylic. And just because they're inexpensive doesn't mean that they're going to look cheap. So let me show. Well, we'll get back to this in a second. Also, wood beads are a great way to stretch your budget. There are multiple different options based on what kind of wood you want. Like this is walnut, this is cedar, I have Tibetan sandalwood, I have rosewood beads, all of those. And then there's pine. There's nothing wrong with pine beads, especially if you have the time to stain them yourself. They are the least expensive option, but that doesn't mean that they're ugly. So, but like I said, there's wood. These work well. Now, you should also use Your seed beads. Use them to your advantage. Use maybe the larger ones, the 6-0s or the 8-0s or 6-0s even, or use those as spacers where you may have used a like a small gemstone or what project. There's many ways that you can use seed beads to stretch your dollar when you're doing it. Thirdly, and I'm going to come up off the mat for this one. Most of us get bead boxes. Not all of us are great about putting them away or whatever else. So I would suggest that you go and wherever you find them, gather your leftover beads together before you start planning your Christmas gifts, to see what you already had, because I know how frustrating it gets when I buy something and then I go and start digging in my stash for something else and I come across and I already had it and didn't need to buy it. So if it's something you like, I would say that there's a very good chance that it's probably already in your stash. So just take the time to go through all of it and everything before you start putting it out. Also, make sure that you make a budget for each gift and try to stick to that as best you can. Obviously, bargain bead box, dollar bead box, those are great ways to stretch your dollar, especially bargain bead box, because you can go and order from them at their sister shop on bead box bargains and get 30% off of order after order after order. They also run specials almost every weekend. They have their companion bundles, and as I said, you get to use your 30% off coupon as many times as you want for as many orders as you want. So, but I will say, if you are going to end up having to pay shipping, make sure that you take advantage and make a bigger order if you'll get free shipping for doing so, especially if you know there's a good possibility you'll be coming back to getting more. You might as well just get it and save the shipping, because then your price per bead doesn't have, you don't have to factor the shipping in on every order. You can focus more on just your just the price per bead. That's another thing. Make sure that if you don't already know your price per bead, I would recommend making a list as you're buying supplies so that you know where you're at budget wise. There's something else I was going to mention and now I can't remember. Anyways, another thing that I would recommend is use wire to your advantage. This is really far away. Yeah. And I'm having to like lean to, as you could probably tell from the face camera. Use wire to your advantage. If you make some little links, not only are you going to get length from the loop, but you're going to get length from the jump ring you use to attach your links together. It's a great and inexpensive way of stretching your supplies out without feeling like you've cheaped out or whatever, which I think is silly because not everything has to be expensive for it to be beautiful. I love goldstone. Is goldstone expensive? No, it's not. You put that together with some it's sitting right here blinking up at me. You put that together with something with some silver spacer beads, some inexpensive flower bead caps, you are good to go. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Tina. So that's another way to stretch your dollar. Also, just because it's Christmas time doesn't mean you can only give Christmas themed stuff. if you have a loved one who loves beachy pieces and like to go to the beach and whatever else, you don't have to wait till summer to make those for them, because they will likely like them no matter what part of the year it is, and or they'll put it in their jewelry box and have it to wear when you get to that time of the year. Now, also use metal beads to your advantage. If you want to step up the price, as I said on Saturday, that is why I started putting the plated metal bundles together. It's a very inexpensive, low-cost way for you to be able to add something like 18-karat gold-plated spacer balls, just buy like these, buy 50 of them. Okay, I buy them by the thousand, so I get them at a much greater reduced cost than you would if you were to go and try to find just 50 spacers or 100 or whatever. That is 18-karat gold plated. So I'm not really making a lot off of these or the jump rings, the lobster claws. I'm really not. I want you guys to be able to have an opportunity to say, hey, all of that's 18-karat gold plated or whatever else. And so I decided to put these together for you. And then if and when you like watching, if you, what was I gonna say? I just saw Carolyn say she missed the very beginning, and now I'm like, you can watch replay, babe. It's okay. This allows you to tip your toe into the water without going out and spending money to buy 500 or 1,000 at, because even then they're still expensive. Same with silver, even. Also, there are steps within this. There is gold plated, there is heavily gold plated, there's gold filled, there's a whole level of that. If you're not sure what all of those terms mean, let me know and I can easily go over it for you. I don't mind doing so, but I also don't want to come across as like I don't think you guys don't already have this information, or redundant going over the same things that you already know. So, glass pearls are another great way to stretch your budget. And oh, also don't be afraid to tell the person who you're giving a gift to that it is plated metal, because that's going to be something that they are going to want to know, so that it's not something that just gets tossed into a jewelry box or assume that it's not, so then they don't really wear it much. Just use a little earring card like you would at a show, put a little sticker on it that says 18-karat gold plated and give it to them. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay, so we've gone over a few ways: the acrylic, seed beads, check glass. That's the other one. Check glass, you use it to your advantage. Use those as spacers where you may have put something more expensive. Bead cap and spacer beads are also a great way to stretch your premium items, because they're going to take up space on the bracelet, so you won't have to use as many of the gemstones. Now, inexpensive gemstones, as I was saying, does not mean that they're not nice. Those are not gemstones. Those are glass, I think. Those might be rose quartz. I think those are actually rose quartz. They are. They're just really pretty. Rose quartz is a very inexpensive gemstone that a lot of people like. So, but maybe do something interesting like going up a little bit to buy something that's not around so that it feels nicer. It feels like I don't know how to say this. It's not just run of the mill that everybody else could get and or make themselves by grabbing some stretch cords and a strand of beads. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can use very similar items to stretch your budget a little bit. So we're going to start with one of ours. Oops, I forgot to pull this out. So these are just acrylic daisy spacers in pearl finish. I'm gonna use Rosanna's little trick of putting if I can find one of my clippies, putting the little clippy there. Man. I don't see what I did with them, and they were just right here. Oh, there's one. Okay, cool. Now it won't slide all the way down. I grabbed this as I was looking for that. This is a really long spacer bead that's probably the length of two 8mm gemstone rounds. So this could take up a lot of space on a design. Okay, now if we are going to put wood beads, and maybe you do want to have some real pearls at the front, then I don't know that I would use the acrylic beads in that setting, but look at how nice that is. We're using the spacer bead, which were available in the sale. You get 54mm 18-karat gold plated spacer beads for $3.50. So, but you'll see, like, it's not going to take a lot to come up with a very nice pattern. There you go. You could use even larger gold spacers. Maybe this is the splurge for you and not a pearl. Maybe it's the 6 or 8mm metal spacers. And then you have like the walnut, which is a little more expensive, but then look how nice that looks. So you're obviously not going to use as many of these as you would the 4mm, but it's just really pretty. And then you get, just don't leave your rose quartz in the sun. Yes, that is very much so. You're welcome. I'm so glad you guys appreciated that. I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to be received, so I was excited to see you guys getting to order the different sized being able to buy the jump rings, which I had for like $1 a bag. So it ended up, I was excited. Like I said, I'm not making anything on those because I want, it's an area that I would rather not make more if it makes you guys feel like your creations are special and beautiful. So you could literally have this as a bracelet all in and of itself. You don't need to do anything else to it. That would be a beautiful, maybe just put a charm on it or something. Or this is where Like maybe you want to use rose quartz. So you bring the rose quartz in, and maybe we just leave these to where it's just the rose quartz with the acrylic daisy spacers. Or maybe you use one of the smaller gold spacers with the rose quartz up front. And then once you've done the number you would need to go across the wrist, you just go back to the wood beads. You just go back to the wood and the larger spacers to finish off the length of your bracelet. But I think that is a very beautiful bracelet that people would like to have as an addition in their jewelry box. So there's one option. You can also and some of you might disagree with what I'm going to say right now, but you can also use imitation or the acrylic and the actual, like an actual freshwater pearl in the same piece. So maybe you have the wood beads again, but this time, where did I put it? Oh, right here. But this time, maybe you wanted to pull the look of the pearl throughout the entire bracelet. Or, yeah, throughout the entire bracelet. So then use the acrylic pearls around the back, because I'm going to tell you, baby pearls, these 3mm baby pearls would be expensive. But you carry these around. I think I might just want the wood with a little. And then wait till you get around to the front. And then that's where where is the hole? This little one. That's where you would put in possibly the, maybe that's when you add the gold. You start with one, like, little, acrylic. You might actually want to put it on the wire, though, not drop it like I just did. It doesn't really help anybody. So then you put the gold spacer ball, and then you put, and these are large hole, you guys, so I have them out for a reason too. But then this is where you add the freshwater pearls up around the front. Now this is a pink pearl, so it's going to look different from the acrylic, obviously, but it's still very pretty and easy to do. Okay, what was the next thing I was going to say? I said the thing about using wire. Also, wire, I'll tell you guys, there have been pieces of mine that I thought were just kind of, like they weren't ugly, but they weren't necessarily something that was like my favorite. But maybe I made all of the wire components for that piece. People see that and immediately are like, oh, you made all of this? And that strikes them in a way that we may or may not have thought. There are going to be those who see the value in that, everything else. Back to what I was just going to say, though, and the reason I have out the pearls, leather is also your friend, because you could literally do a knot, a pearl, a knot, a wood bead, a knot, a pearl, a knot, and you're going to use 5 freshwater pearls and maybe 4 wood beads, and you've got your length completed. You do a knot in the back or put like end tip over it, put your clasps on it, and you're good to go. And you are not using the amount of resources as you would if you were stringing it together because of the knot. So, and if you have a hard time finding nice large hole pearls, let me know. Bernie's are very nice, very, very nice. So I really like theirs. So are Adabel on Amazon, but they also have their own website. And sometimes this stuff is cheaper on Amazon than it is on their site, and sometimes it's cheaper on their site than it is on Amazon. So I tend to go back and just like vary, but sometimes the quick and free shipping evens it out whichever way you're going. Okay, let me think. There was something else. You can also use, I'm telling you guys, they're just having these across the top of your bracelet, or maybe having 3 rounds, 2 squares. And you put these on and you do, I have some black beads right here. You do just various shapes. You can decide which ones you want. I've got little like donut beads here. I have regular rounds. But maybe you want to do a little combo situation. You could maybe even put a smaller black seed bead on either side of that to kind of zhuzh it up, or maybe you put a, not maybe, we're going to go ahead and do it real quick. Okay. So if we just take, these are just some standard 11-0 Preciosa check glass seed beads. Come on, where'd you go? Black beads are always so hard to see for me for some reason when it comes to like the hole, where the hole is. So we do something like this, and then like I said, we're gonna switch to the square. Oops, forgot my seed bead. We're gonna go to our square, and then we're going to do the seed bead and black check glass. And it doesn't even have to be check glass, you guys. There are, just because things are inexpensive doesn't mean that they're ugly. In fact, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I don't know if you guys have a Winco near you, but Winco's Rice Krispies over regular Rice Krispies is the way that I go about things because they have more of a toasted like sense to them, especially in Rice Krispie treats. They taste really good. But you'll see that I'm going to get most of my length, if not all of my length, necessary. But because you could do this exact same pattern using rounds, and I don't think that it would be as appreciated or like I don't words are hard for me today. I do not know. My poor son is here. He's getting everything typed out, trying to decipher dad's notes with what mom wrote as he's getting everything together. So invoices go out today. And then all the paid invoices, then we can ship those tomorrow. Because I know it's Christmas time, so we're doing everything in our power we can to get you guys your bead orders as quickly as possible. Not that it shouldn't always be that way, and we do try. We've gotten better. We've figured out ways to like streamline the like from start to finish in different ways. Like, does it work better to have them already in the computer? The whole using the little tubs and putting your guys' names on them as you order, that has saved quite a bit of time because we're not having to go back and forth and pick beads later. Okay. So this right here, and I know it's the inner diameter, not the length. I just want to make too many things right here in my waist. So this right here by itself is 5.5 inches. So if I do the pattern on the other side and put the clasp, there's a bracelet. And that I think will be more appreciated than if you were just to use, say, 8mm rhodonite beads in here. I think that this just gives you a way of showing, like this strand, these strands, they came from Sam's Bead Shop. He does the mixed shape strands in several different gemstones. And what am I doing? I think that they're like $7.95, $8.95, and you would have enough to do 3 bracelets like this easily, just with one strand. So it's good. Julie Newton, where do you get? I will send you the link, Julie. Not a problem. Yes, bananas, absolutely. But I just think like this was a very simple thing, and that just putting the seed beads in. When the seed beads weren't in, I didn't like the way that the beads were fitting up against each other, whatnot. Just adding the little seed bead in made it look much nicer, in my opinion. So, easy peasy way to stretch your supply. So if you can get, if the strand is, let's say, $8.95, and you can get 3 bracelets out of it. And I think, because normally they have like, I think 22 pieces, so it may be even more. I could be, hold on, let me go look. I'm just gonna look it up real quick. It does not take me long to figure out how to shop. So, hold on. Okay, he actually has, oh, it has 16 pieces. So three bracelets was right. He has the Dragon Blood on sale from $8.95 down to $7.16. So say that's which one you bought. You're gonna get about $2.39 worth of the Dragon's Blood for each bracelet. You figure the seed beads are a penny a piece, if that. And then the black glass or check glass beads, maybe probably another $1 or $2. So you're getting out for about $5 to $6 once you factor in the class. So it's a way to stretch your dollar and still do nice gifts without breaking the bank or stressing yourself out trying to come up with the perfect pattern or whatever else. You can make the same bracelet using different gemstones and it's going to look different. You can do it using different check glass beads. Maybe you use fire polish on one. Maybe you use squares instead of the rounds. Maybe you do this in metal beads and have like a flat like these right here, but with a round on either side with maybe a black seed bead in between to kind of help ground your eye and see the rest of it. There's so many different ways that you can use one design and they look different. They look completely different. So, but it gives you the ease of not over stressing on how you're going to make it for this person or make it from that person or whatever else. Do I coat the metal? I do indeed. What I do that's different from anybody else that I've known is I have a niece who works at an auto body paint store, but anybody can walk in there and buy it. So we buy the top coat that they use for vehicles. So like the coats that they put on your car after it's painted to protect it from the elements and whatever, and it saves. Even when I've used like stainless steel, or I mean sterling silver, I still go out and coat them. I still go out and spray them, and it keeps it from tarnishing. It you like a can of it, it's not cheap. It's like $30 or so, but it lasts forever and it dries like that. And that's not just because I'm in Arizona, though that does help. It's meant to dry quickly so that you don't get bubbles or dust isn't falling into it, messing up the paint, various reasons. But that's what I use to coat my metal so that it doesn't tarnish. I also try to buy anti-tarnish or tarnish resistance metal beads to begin with. But that's not always something that they put out there. Like if it is anti-tarnish or not anti-tarnish. Okay. So There's something else I was going to show you. I wasn't going to go through designs today because I just wanted to show you guys. You guys, I am going to toot my own horn for just a second to show you guys what all I did. Is this all of it? This is not all of it. Oh, yes, it is. All right, so give me a second. I'm going to do a little like sweepy sweep. Get everything on my mat without making it completely ridiculous. To like sort everything later. Okay. What's this box? Okay. So we're going to go down to the mat. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm going to show you something. So I'm pretty sure I pulled it up. Did I not? Did I not? I may not have. So hold on. Add file. So I have that one. And then I don't know why I didn't download the other one. Okay. Download to the other side. Oh my god. Add them. Okay. Why did it not add the first time? Oh, why won't it let me do this? Do I have another version? I was just gonna show you the picture of my. It won't let me. Okay, if you've never gotten an FOC, it's a small packet of beads that have like little bits and pieces here or there from everything. And then you just go through. You only have to use one bead out of the packet in order to qualify for the ducky race that they do every month. But I decided I give myself the added rule that if I'm going to bring in beads from from outside of the packet itself, I stick stuff that I bought from Randy to the best of my ability. So it's not a lot of stuff. It costs $9.50. It's not expensive, but wait until you guys see just how much stuff. Oh, chain. That's the other thing. I was going to tell you that you can use chain to your ability. You can get some nice plated chain for not a lot of money, and you can use it like in this design. I just used curb chain, but to make it look different, I popped in some 2 jump rings to break it up instead of just using the curb chain all the way around by itself. So this, don't mess up. I made this necklace, and then I made these 2 bracelets. As you know, if you've been watching me for any length of time, I prefer what I call stackers over multi-strand. But, so I made this necklace, these 2 bracelets, and I'm trying to find the earrings. Hold on. Which I just did the earrings last night. So, as I was rushing to get this posted in time. Oh no, these didn't go with that. These are a pair of earrings I made though. Okay. Then I have those earrings. I made this necklace. There were only 4 of these crystals in the FOC. But the glass cube beads that came in it had the wash where it's like a greeny blue. So I just used these as my secondary focal, which broke up the necklace from looking the same all the way around. I had both wood and glass, so I just alternated those. And then I made these earrings. There was that necklace. I did add this for my stash though, because it just went so pretty. Here is another bracelet that I made that just kind of, so I made those. And then I made this. You may remember I was almost finished, and then I made a mistake when I was stringing, and the mistake became the pattern. And all I did was I put another red one on without putting the pearl in between or the seed beads, and I was like, I like that better. So I did that. We also discussed how you could do a focal and attach it on using a lobster clasp at the focal way. That way, like maybe this is Christmas, you come around to Valentine's Day, you want to wear it again. Maybe you have a heart pendant that you put on it. You know, just easy ways to stretch what may be otherwise claimed to just be Christmas jewelry. I made matching earrings with the same angel. In this case, I would just, you could put them on a lobster clasp or just make another quick pair of earrings. Like maybe only use one red and one pearl, and then you would have the pair of earrings for the other time you wore them. So made those. Then I made I thought there was that black necklace, and then I also made this black necklace. I made this pair of earrings with stuff from it. This was actually the first piece I made because it had this blue quartz bead. These are acrylic, but you guys look how nice that looks. And then this is just the glass and wood beads that I alternated again. But I know my materials, and I still would, if I was just like gazing quickly, I wouldn't know that these weren't a gemstone. I would have thought that they were. Once I pick it up, obviously I'd know immediately, but just perusing, and it looks nice. It's okay. I made this matching bracelet, and then I also have this stacker. There's one more black bracelet. I think I might have dropped it along the way. There's another black bracelet. Then I made this one using the green donut that was in it. And I just put that on one of these things, like the little trays. Don't know what they are. And then I glued one of the lucite flowers into the center. And then I took this, which was a button, and I cut the loop off and I put it in place. And then these I messed up when I was using them for the first time and accidentally cut the loop off of one of these thistle charms. So I cut it off of the other one and put new holes in it using my little tool that I got from Rosanna that she got in her Beadle on pack. And yeah. And then last but not least, I also made two candy cane ornaments for the tree. And then I realized that I had, wait, I realized I had forgotten a strand. Where is the necklace with them? Oh, that's this. That was this. I had a strand of these in between, and I didn't realize till last night, so I made this up. And I had to pull some, I actually had more glass pearls from my FOC. Also, I had these beads that I didn't know what I was going to do with. Not really a fan of them altogether. I don't know. But I made a bracelet out of them. Nonetheless, you could also very easily turn this into a necklace. I actually found a few more of these, like larger one of these, and two more teardrops. And this morning, and almost swapped it out, but didn't. So 5 necklaces, 9 bracelets, 6 pairs of earrings, 2 ornaments, and all I had left was I had 3 white, 1 green, 1 red of these beads. I had a couple more of the wooden tube beads, and that was it. So for 18 bucks, not too shabby, if I do say so myself. And other than the last one, I'd wear all of them. Okay, there's okay. Precious metal, da da da. Okay. The sunsets. Oh, my favorite thing about the sunset is that you look on it on one side and it's red and orange and yellow. And then you turn around and face the other side and it looks like pink and blue cotton candy. It's gorgeous. My sister didn't realize that, like, she was like, oh, it's that big of a difference? Or did you take them at different times? And then she came down and she was like, it really is one way, and then we're done. I will tell you who Randy is in just a second. Randy is Randy from Thunder Horse Descendants. She does these monthly packets. They're $9.30. And it's based on a bead book. And she calls it the Found Objects Challenge. You have to take a picture of the beads when you first get them, and then 2 other beads. There's requirements. I mean, 2 other pictures, but you can take more. You only have to make 1 piece of jewelry, and like I said, you only have to use 1 thing, but it has to be obvious. Like, you have to be able to see it and go, oh, that's what came from the Found Objects Challenge. That kind of thing. And then you just take 2 more pictures, you post them in her Facebook group. And tag her in it. And then every month she has a ducky race, which is just like a random draw thing, but instead of it just saying, oh, this person won, you see like the ducks racing, and all the ducks have, I'm sure you've seen them, like the rubber duckies that look like cowboys and clowns and whatever else. Those are what they are on the screen. If you win, you get $50 of Beading goodness from her website, or Taylor Falls, and you get a book, their used book. She gets a bunch of different jewelry magazines and whatever else. So you get one of those, and you get to your next month's Found Objects Challenge, you get for free. You don't get to have multiple duckies, even if you get multiple packets. It's still just 1 a piece, and it's a lot of fun. So, oh yeah, I made so much. Right now, she just dropped her Christmas boxes. Let me go see if there's any left. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they weren't already sold out, because there was so much in it. But if there's any left, let me see. She just dropped them today, but she only made 1. Nope, it looks like they're already sold out that fast. Oh wait, I'm wrong. They're not sold out. I'm going to copy the link. You can go to her channel. Here, let me just open up YouTube on my phone real quick. Hopefully I don't have to hear myself talk to do the subscriptions. Here we go. Other. Don't have to hear myself talk. Pause it. Okay. That is the order for her, or that's the link for her Christmas box. It's jam-packed with all kinds of goodness. If you want to watch first before and see what's in it, here, I'm going to get the link. Here's the link for her YouTube video from this morning. She goes live every morning, Monday through Friday, called Morning Coffee. And then Dorothy will go like 6. She starts at 8, and Dorothy starts at 9. Rosanna starts at 10, goes, and then there's an hour between myself and there's 2 hours between my start and Rosanna's start time. So I'm kind of the last one that goes on. But yes, the stuff is beautiful. There's so much goodness in it. So they're $135. I'll tell you that right now. It's $135. That includes shipping. She asked that if you place an order, you only put the Christmas box in. That way, because she already has it weighed out, so shipping has already been factored into the $135. So if you see other stuff that you'd like, put it in a secondary order. And yeah, chain is cool. Oh, you're gonna be in Mesa during Thanksgiving, Julie? Oh, I'll give you a clue. If you're going to be taking beads with you anywhere, put the beads in your carry-on, not in your suitcase, because then you don't have to worry about the weight limitations. I made the mistake of putting them in my check bag one time and one time only. Even when I flew home, I put them in my carry-on. So, yeah, she only made 50 of the Christmas boxes. They're $135, includes shipping. Oh, you're driving here. Ooh. Well, maybe you'll have enough time and we can grab lunch or something. That would be fun. But yeah, it's totally worth it. The box, everything that she has in it, it's totally worth it. Beautiful, beautiful stones and gemstones and whatnot that she put in and included in it. It's a great value for the money. She takes like 6 weeks off. I think it's from Thanksgiving till after New Year's. I'm not entirely sure. Generally, Rosanna or I sub in for her on morning coffee. And then if I'm subbing, then I don't go on at noon. I only go on first thing in the morning. If Rosanna is subbing, then I take Rosanna's time slot just to have it go over nice. But she's going to be designing with the box for like a 2-week period of time or 12 days of Christmas. This is my first year with the Christmas box. So if I'm there's a coffee mug and a coaster with her friend makes a variation of her logo every year. And that's the Christmas box is where you get said mug. People who've been getting them for a while, like they have a collection of her mugs. So I'm excited to start mine this year. I can't wait. They will be mailed out the 17th. And then I think it's like December 1st for 12 days. And then she goes on her little hiatus. Let me see. Oh, and it even works out perfectly that December 1st is a Monday. So then she'll create with it, and then she takes off the rest of the time. But I don't know. Rosanna and I might swap back and forth who does Randy's time slot back and forth. I don't know, but I can't wait. We have to go to Oregano's. Yes, my daughter's the manager there after college, but one up in Flagstaff. So, girl, if you like oregano's, have you been to? There's a pizza place that is like my favorite. The name is escaping me right now. Mellow Mushroom. Girl, that is the best pizza. The best pizza in the valley. I love it. But yeah. Anyways, guys, don't want to take up too much of your time today. Did anybody have any questions on anything that we covered? Is there anything specific that you would like me to show? I am going to be doing snowflakes, at least 2 of them this week that can be purchased as kits. So I'll be doing those. Those could be a fun thing to buy while your kids are on Christmas break or winter break. You can sit down and make a snowflake with them, or if you're blessed and have grandchildren and would like to do the same, you don't have to buy 2 kits. Each kit is enough to build 2 snowflakes. And I will be adding extra beads in case you don't want to copy mine directly, but you like the color palette. You can kind of switch it up a little bit. So like say I made a clear and a blue one, and on mine the blue was the dominant color, but you want the clear crystal instead. That allows you to do it. So well, yeah, you could just have your 2 grandsons each do a snowflake, and you're just there to help them. So I am going to have at least 2 designs this week, snowflake designs. And then that kit will go out, and I will probably hold shipping on those until after the sale on Saturday and combine that shipping with that, so that you're not have to pay shipping several times, because the first however much is the chunk. It's like $5, no matter this price to this price. So, and then it goes up in little bits. So if we can combine the shipping, it's better off. So yeah, exactly, 1 each. So I've got to get to designing those so that I can have them out and have the kits ready before Saturday. Not that you have to wait till Saturday to order them. You can just tell me how many you want and whatnot. But I need to get those ready so that I can have them for Saturday's sale. And I need to help my son finish going through the invoicing. We have somebody coming to pick a puppy up later. So cross your fingers. They're coming to look at a puppy. I've only ever had one person come that didn't adopt a puppy. They always end up adopting a puppy. But I have that in a few hours. So a lot going on today. I hope you have. Okay, Shirley, I can absolutely do that. Did you shop on Saturday or not? I can't remember. Anyways, they're $15 plus shipping. I added it. So if you place an order this week, okay, then we will just add your mandrel onto it. Not a problem. Sand, misty gray, or onyx? Which color do you want? Gray, black, or tan? But I always wanted to be able to name colors, so you are planning on coming back till Saturday. If you want to wait until I finish the Botswana agate, Shirley, and just have it all sent as one order, I can do that too. It's not a problem. It's completely up to you. You can just let me know. And then, like I said, if there's anything specific that you would like help on, if you're new around here, just as an FYI, before Father's Day this year, okay, Shirley, we'll do. Father's Day this year, the 4 weeks leading up to it, I did 28 days of 28 men's designs. And not only are there a bunch of men's designs, which I know that there are a lot of people that think that men's designs are difficult. I also went throughout the series and tried to demystify that, debunk that men's are hard. There were a few times where I changed like one bead. So on the feminine version, there was a small itty bitty faceted spinel. And then on the masculine one, I had a 4 or 5 millimeter buffalo horn spacer bead instead. Completely different, but in all actuality, I only changed one bead. And that was all the difference that it was. So, which is nice because then his and hers, you can make things like that if you want. So yeah. All right, Shirley, I will make sure I tell my son. All right, guys. I know that I'm normally here longer than this, but like I said, I've got a bunch of stuff to do to make sure that you guys have everything you need for any of your Christmas shenanigans. I really appreciated everybody showing up on Saturday. That was amazing. It was such a nice feeling. So it was great. I was very happy. You guys just warmed my hearts. You guys show up for me. I appreciate the support. It's wonderful. But yeah, have a great rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. As always, happy beading.